Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys on this beautiful Monday? Well, the Grammys was last night, and I'm here to do a reading on Willow. I've been wanting to do a reading on Willow because I am a huge fan of Willow. I follow her on Instagram. I've came around to her music. I mean, I loved her when she did Whip My Hair, huge throwback, but really I came around to Willow's music when she had kind of switched into the rock category. Like I liked Wait a Minute, but when she did her coping mechanisms, oh, that was a beautiful album. And since then I've been a huge fan of hers. I actually even have that album in person. Thank you to the person who got it for me. However, I am here to do a reading because sadly, Will did not get a Grammy last night. However, she did get nominated, and she said that it is a dream come true. So I'm glad for her on that one. I kind of wish Big Feelings would have gotten an award for something at least, or her album Empathy. Empathy. Wow, we're saying English today. Empathy. Maybe it's just because Willow's just, a little bit up there. She's creative. She's just like artistic in that sense. I believe she's a Scorpio. And that's all I really have to say about Willow. Let's see what's going on with her. Even though she didn't get her Grammy nomination, let's see what's going on with her and her music career, and maybe what's going on with her love life. I'm glad to see that her and her brother Jaden are still close, as they appear to be in the media, because they were spotted at the Grammys together. It's always great to see the sibling duo have each other's back and always there and celebrating each other and supporting each other. That's just beautiful to see between the two of them. So all that to be said, really, I'm just here to read on Willow for personal interest, and how fitting that the Grammys were coming around. So now is the best time ever to read on Willow. Okay. So one more shuffle. Last shuffle. That was just to get the cards that fell out to get a little more shuffled. Okay. All right, Willow, let's pick out the significator card for Willow. Oh, I actually like that. We have the Four of Pentacles, which is very fitting. She said that the Grammys was a dream come true. So maybe everything is falling into place. Everything is going just the way she wanted it. Maybe she's creating a very stable foundation. Let's see. I'm going to save the block card till the very end, and that's actually going to be the bottom card. So I hope nobody saw that bottom card, because I sure didn't. So what above her head is, oh, I love that. Beautiful, beautiful. Ace of Pentacles. We are in the Pentacles category. So let's see if we're going to continue to stay in the Pentacles category. Oh, and the Lovers. The Lovers. I like that. I like that. Okay. Past. Okay. Mother of Swords. Future. The Empress. Okay. It is just looking sky high and great for Willow right now. We got all these great material cards, all these standing in your energy cards, feminine energy. I guess Willow would identify as a divine feminine, it seems like, because there's so much feminine energy in here so far. Let's find out. The Fears is the Father of Wands. I wonder who that could be. We have Justice for her hopes. Interesting. We have Judgment for how people feel about her. Interesting. Very interesting. Actually, the Judgment just clicked in my cards. That's actually a very fitting card to have there. And then at the very end, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Wow. This is just a beautiful reading for Willow all around. I'm going to save, like I said, the block card till the very end, so I'm not going to look at it just yet. However, we're just going to put this to the side and jump right in. What I first see with Willow right now in her current situation, what's going on with her career, love life, just her in her present moment. She is getting a foundation. And I think the reason why she's trying to lay down a stable foundation, whether that's career rise, whether that's when you're getting into a relationship, setting down the boundaries, figuring out where you and the person stand, just laying it all out, just trying to get a solid, stable foundation that you can grow and build on all around. Even that could be spiritually, the fact that she's trying to get herself stable, more stable in the physical world, even though it's like trying to bring that, because as I talked about earlier, how 4 is as represents the something that's stable and fixed in the physical reality. And like I said, and this is more of a spiritual case because I feel like there's a spiritual undertone, which would be very fitting for Willow. But the spiritual undertone would be the fact that 3 is actually what represents true balance and not 4. It's like a pseudo balance. But we live in this physical reality, so therefore we are constrained by the physical balance that consider to be stable, which would be the number 4. So because of that, she's trying to manifest, literally with this Ace of Pentacles, manifest her material world, her material environment. I mean, she's already doing it through her music because that's just the theme that she talks about. But her music is a form of a creative outlet. Maybe she has been sparked again. Maybe something has happened in her life where she's ready to get back to writing and get back to music because she's feeling inspired, or maybe there's something within inside of her that makes her feel like that now is the time to move forward in a project, whether that be music, whether that be something else. I don't quite see love right here, even though love is at the very bottom, but that's at the very foundation, which I seem to see that even though she might be out there looking for love, the fact that love is at the bottom where the foundation should be, maybe she has a foundation of self-love within herself, or a foundation in the fact that she puts herself, that's just another way to rephrase self-love, but maybe the fact that she puts herself first above love for others, even though she might be trying to look for somebody. Maybe she's not looking for somebody to be codependent with, and I mean, in a relationship, you are technically codependent, but a healthy codependency is what we're looking for in a relationship, and not a codependency where you feel as though this person is completing you, and without this other person or other persons in your life, you don't feel as complete, you don't feel as inspired, you don't have that creative muse. Therefore, being your own creative muse, your own creative drive, where you can pour out of yourself to be an infinite source of creativity, is how Willow is reprocessing her approach to her life, basically. Let's just say altogether, whether this be music or love, because what I see here in the past, or where she's coming from, is the Mother of Swords. This could be that she because I know she did the round table with her mom going way back in the past. So maybe she goes to her mom for some counseling or some advice, some wise guidance on where to go, what to do. And maybe the best way to put it is that's where she was in the past. And maybe now, like I said, because she's relying more on herself, maybe the bird is trying to fly the coop, trying to stand on her own, maybe not rely so much on her mom's advice, even though a mother's advice is always great and awesome. It's from my personal experience. But, sometimes there comes that time and age where you have to take things and matters and your life into your own hands. And because of that, we see in the future, and Willow is going to become the Empress. And the Empress is way over the mother, not literally, but Empress in the sense that Willow is going to embody herself, be comfortable within herself. I mean, not saying that she isn't already comfortable within herself, but maybe instead of it being like a pseudo confidence within herself, it's a legit oozing just aura in and out, confidence within herself. And the Empress also represents a source of creativity, like I was talking about earlier, becoming her own drive, her own muse, her own source of inspiration when it comes to creativity, whether it's writing music, whether it's composing music. I see that she loves music is really a form of therapy for her. So maybe getting outside those confines of, instead of music being a source of therapy, maybe a source of a creative outlet to show my creative expression, just besides being a emotional inspiration for others, emotional inspiration for myself. What kind of music do I want to see out in the world? What kind of music that if I was listening to other artists, maybe I am listening to other artists and they just not quite hitting it the way I wanted to. So what could I do to tweak it, to add my little umph that adds my little creative willow to it, that I can package and put it out there, that when I listen to my own music, I feel like that's what I want people to hear. That's maybe I want people to see me more beyond maybe just a Nepo baby that talks about her problems. I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe there's phases and changes for everybody, right? So maybe she's trying to come outside of that confined, and that was good for a period and when she needed it. But now she wants to use music as more of a creative outlet than a therapeutic outlet, which I mean, she still might do along the way. She's her own artist. It's her own prerogative. She can do what she wants with her own music, but she's trying to, even though the album Big Feelings and her whole album, just the word itself that I'm struggling to say, is all about love, is all about being universal love, being out there, being just authentic, just being there for others, just what this world literally needs in order for us to grow and evolve. If we could just get into a higher vibration and a higher frequency, the world would be so much better for it. And that's what Willow's trying to get with her music. A little sidebar tangent, but Willow definitely uses music, studies music. I mean, a lot. If you're up there in the ashans like that, like Kanye does and other artists, you start playing with the frequency literally, and about all the other melodies, sequences of notes that can evoke certain feelings or emotions in others. So if you're able to literally just tap somebody with just the way the song resonates within their body, because music is frequency and vibration after all. So therefore, whatever you're listening to resonates within your body and goes all within your body, and therefore you're going to embody the music you listen to. So the phrase "you are what you eat" or "you are what you listen to" really stands by. So that's why there's always there are some really good conscious there are people out there that are trying to be conscious artists, conscious individuals, that when they put music out there, that they're not just reaching and going for the mainstream audience and what everybody else does. They're actually trying to put a different tune, a different frequency into the earth, use their music as another form of a way to try to shift the collective consciousness into the direction of evolution than into the direct direction of de-evolution, like the media and fear mongering tries to put us in. So because of that, that's where Willow is trying to really come from with her music. Even though it could be a source of outlet for herself, she wants to also just be a positive influence and a positive light, basically maybe a light worker through her music. And what we have here in her fears is the Father of Wands. Now, I'm not sure if this literally means that she might fear her father. I'm not quite sure their connection, how close they are. However, this could be the fact that maybe the Father of Wands, because this is a snake here, maybe this Father of Wands could be the fact that she fears well, no, she really can't fear the industry. I mean, Will's pretty confident, unless this is just a pseudo persona that she gives out until she evolves into this person, which maybe could be what she could be feeling is that maybe all this work that she's doing is going to, because okay, let's be honest here. Let me double check before I blame Willow here, but I'm almost confident Willow's a Scorpio. Exactly. So Willow is a Scorpio, and snakes represent reptiles. Even though this is the wand suit, which means it represents fire. Fire and water are two polar opposites of the form. So maybe her fear is that going along with that transformation, instead of being in her Scorpio water element, she's feeling a spark. She's feeling a drive to do something more transformative, be a little bit more aggressive, or maybe a little bit more a go-getter, proactive, masculine, even though I was talking about how she was so in her energy and divine feminine. But with this father here, maybe that's something that she fears, that with that Scorpio, because Scorpios tend to have that edge, in even though they are, water is like the feminine, the scorpion is kind of masculine in the sense that it will bite, it will when you least expect it. So because of that, those are all things to fear within a Scorpio, and those are all qualities that Willow probably has became very familiar with herself, and probably hasn't quite gotten accustomed to finding all those parts within herself, because she still is in her 20s. So there still is more for her to find out. Let me just see. I just want to know. Oh man, Willow 24. She got 3 more years before she gets to her Saturn return. So before she has that before she has that driving passion to really confront something in her life, it could be egging at her a little bit. She could have that intuitive feeling and vibe that she needs to fix something within herself before a certain period. If you're like in tune, you kind of get that sense, and you start feeling and you start seeing or recognizing certain patterns in your life and how those patterns are playing out in your life. And you start to realize that if you want to make a change here, that you're going to have to make changes in other parts of your plate, other parts of your life, almost like a full transformation, a full revolution, a full deconstruction to build something back up, which is right here with this Judgment card, which is how her friends and family see Willow. And in this card, I always see it as a transformation, because it is a dove rising from the bat. So first, bats represent darkness. They are nocturnal. They are something that works in the night, doing shadow work. And a dove is light work, is light, is purity, represents everything beautiful and not scary and ominous like the darkness like bats represent. So in representing that transformation, like I've been talking about in this entire video, which is why I said that I really love that this card is here, because her friends, her family, I'm sorry if you guys hear my cat meowing in the background, but what we see here is that her friends, her family, her loved ones see a transformation in Willow, seeing a phoenix rising from the ashes, which is usually depicted here. So because of that, that's why her fear could be that during this form of transformation, she could be a little bit more in her Scorpio energy, where she is a little bit more, I don't give an F, a little bit more, I'm going to do what I'm going to do because I need to do what's best for me. You know, kind of like not a get you before you get me, but you know, if I'm just trying to get where I need to go and you just happen to get in my way, well, I'm sorry you got in my way. That's the kind of energy that she's embodying right now. And because of that, she's hoping that doesn't get in the way, or it affects the way she affects the way that she maneuvers, or is, here we go. She hopes that it doesn't affect the way that people see her, because she wants to be feminine. She wants to be the empress. She wants to, basically, what I always talk about when I see snakes, even though there is not quite much snakes here to represent this, but I'm always going to do it when I can find a snake. A snake always represents, and it fits perfectly for this video. A snake represents, especially in this, snakes represent not divine feminine. Well, it could represent divine feminine, but snakes represent feminine energy, but more importantly, transformed feminine energy. And what does that mean? It basically means what, basically, I'm starting to realize why masculine energy tries to put themselves above the feminine, because the feminine energy truly realize the power and ability and nature within them, the true capability, the manifestation, what it means to be a true receptive, a true person that is able to take in energy, able to transmute it, able to do that shadow work. I mean, we all have this energy in us. It does not matter whether you're masculine, feminine, male, female. It doesn't matter. Masculine and feminine is all within us. So we all have this energy to tap into. It just all depends on how we choose to tap into it. But if Willow is able to tap into this transformed energy, able to use her work, her shadow work that she's doing within herself to work on herself, fix herself, she will therefore be able to she basically will be able to work out. Well, this is really hard to, I always explain this so well, but for some reason I'm struggling to explain it a little bit. It's probably my cat's energy rubbing off on me, honestly. But speaking of cats, just a little side tangent. With this transformative energy and bringing things back into imbalance, like I said, Willow doesn't want to be too much of a masculine or feel like she's coming off masculine, when she really wants to intend to be feminine. And if she can find that balance of being proactive, being a go-getter, getting done what you need to do, and able to plant seeds, be able to plant material, be able to plant your creative energy, and also therefore then turn around and be able to nurture it, make it grow, and be able to put into the energy, and maybe even see where there's some things that you could do to round it out, mold it into what you need it to grow in the way you need it to be able to have that balance of masculine energy, feminine energy, working, being exterior but interior at the same time, doing the inner work but also doing the outer work, working on yourself spiritually but also working on yourself outwardly and physically, to have that balance, to have that judgment, or not judgment, but to have that justice, that balance, basically. Willow has, now that I'm looking at it, she has 4 major arcana cards. She has the Lovers, she has the Empress, she has Justice, and she has Judgment. And Justice and Judgment happen to be going right above each other, or in connection to each other. So that definitely symbolizes that this justice, that balance, that unity where everything comes together, because we see basically a depiction of white light, which is basically all colors of the rainbow, to symbolize unconditional love, to symbolize harmony. That's everything within both masculine and feminine energy, when you're able to bring the two together instead of it being separate, to find the blend together, which Willow definitely does with her androgynous look, because she both wants to express her masculine and feminine energy. We're seeing more and more, both physically, spiritually, and in the cards, that Willow is becoming the individual and human being that she wants to be. And because of that, we see the hard work that she's doing, and she's seeing the hard work that she's doing is paying off. Maybe she didn't get that Grammy win, but she got nominated for a Grammy. That's just one step closer. Somebody is looking at her music. She is getting the audience that she is desiring. She's molding into the person that she wants to be. All the ducks and all the chicks are falling into line. Wow, literally, guys, I kid you not, as soon as my cat left the room, I regained my consciousness. That's really weird. My mom talks about how my cat telepathically talks to her. I felt it just now. Okay. But what maybe Willow is a cat fan. Maybe she has a familiar or some spiritual animal or spiritual guidance or spiritual entity that she looks to help guide her in time of need. And because of that, let's figure out what her block card was. I had to think about that for a second. I was trying to think if I could figure out what Willow's spirit animal would be. But that was just a little bit too much of a hard endeavor. So let's see what her potential block card is, because this is so beautiful. Everything is going so great. We see transformation. So is this going to be a block card, or is this going to be what I'm going to think of if this is like the bird's eye view? Then what's at the pentacle? What's at the zenith? What is basically literally crowning Willow at this very moment? I knew it before I even picked the card up. I knew it. It just didn't feel like a block card. And it's exactly what I've been talking about this entire time. Rising from the ashes, transforming. That's why we have this snake here. I mean, that's not why we have that snake here, but that's why we have the snake here. There's other reasons why that snake is here. But just talking about, so really what's going on with Willow, maybe why she hasn't been doing, maybe she has been doing concerts, but maybe why she hasn't been doing a tour. Because from what I see from her Instagram posts, she promotes more of her music and her just messing around on the guitar, playing riffs, finding some melodies, trying to find that creative inspiration, and taking us along with the journey. So we see that Willow has taken a step back from the media to really focus on her craft while focusing on herself and focusing on her future and where she wants to go and where she wants to see herself and her career. You know, like they say, where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? That's how Willow's feeling. She's getting her 5-year game plan planned out. She is locked in. She is focused like a Scorpio would be. She is fixed and she is ready to go on this journey. She has almost, I don't want to say tunnel vision because that just narrow minds it, but she has really zeroed in and narrowed in on a particular frequency or vibe that she wants to embody and radiate into the earth. And she's going to find a way to get there and also be that antenna to generate that frequency out there however she can. And if she just happens to find a love along the way, that's great. But hey, that's not her top priority. Her top priority is herself at this very moment. But hey, she's a Scorpio. Not to be like that, but Scorpios enjoy sex. They are the reproductive organs after all. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. And we know Willow just happens to give off that hypersexual image. Now, is she really? I'm not quite sure. When people present themselves like that, you usually take them at face value. But given, yeah. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. And I did. I'm glad I waited to read on Willow, especially after this Grammys. especially after her Grammy look too. Speaking of being hypersexual, her and her brother Jaden still look great. Yes, let me just shuffle to see how Willow and Jaden Smith are. Just real quick, how's her and her brother? Ace of Wands. They're on a new beginning. Who knows? Maybe they're in the process of making a project together, because the Ace of Wands represents the spark of usually a creative project or some creative ideas. Maybe they both are talking about and helping each other on where to go with their lives and trying to be emotional supports for each other. But also at the same time, whatever they both are doing in their lives respectively, this card definitely symbolized almost as a warning, as like a not to rush. Like, even though you got all this energy and you're feeling great, you're just like, ooh, I got to do this like right now. Like, oh my God, I got to do this like right now. Like right now. Like, calm it down. Just calm it down. Glad you feel that that surge of energy. But before you jump too quickly, plan it out, think it through a little bit more, and know that energy is not going to go just because you didn't act on it. There's other ways to act on something, like thinking something through, planning something out, getting a game plan, and still seeing the vision, still seeing the end goal, but seeing the stepping stones to get to that end goal is what the Ace of Wands symbolize. And also the Ace of Pentacles too. It's like a little seedling. It's like the very beginning of a tree, and a tree takes forever to grow. So it's going to, Willow wants to invest in, because investment is like is physical. What she wants to invest in is going to take some time to grow and actually see to fruition. So to not get a little bit weary along the way, and that knowing that just the conscious thought and the little things that you do along the way is going to help you along the way. Like they say, baby steps first. You got to get baby steps before you could take larger steps. So that's how Willow's feeling. And maybe that's what she could be expressing to her brother, whatever he could be going through in his life and what he wants to be doing with his life. Let me know. Do you guys want me to do a reading of Jaden Smith down below? With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Willow. It seems like it's very great. I love to see great readings. I love to see people have their transformative period. I love to see creative energy. I love to see the idea of just being sparked with just juice of life to just do something. I love to see that in people, because that means that's just the start of another project and another endeavor and another avenue to be explored in life. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please leave your comments down below. But more importantly, please subscribe if you have not subscribed. And actually, even more importantly, please share this video with somebody that would enjoy this content. If they like Willow, if they like daily news about what's going on in the world around us, if you know somebody that enjoys tarot readings on celebrities, please share this content, play us forward, share our content. And that would really mean a lot to us, along with your subscription. But if you don't have anybody to share it with, that's okay. A thumbs up is just as well as good too. It gets us into the algorithm and shows YouTube that people do enjoy our content and that people are interested in what we have to share. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I will see you guys in the next one. Sunflowers!